My name is Marshall. This is the ExperienceMore Tour, and today we're here to talk with Patrick Gould from Norrøna, all about their Fall 25 assortment, specifically diving into the Lofoten collection and some of the really cool ski pieces. So with that, let's bring up Patrick Gould, calling in from the lovely city of Boulder, Colorado, in the back of the very first North American Norrøna store. There he is. Hey, Patrick, how are you doing today?
Oh, doing awesome, Marshall. Yeah, thanks for having me. It's always an honor to be here.
Yeah, it's a thrill and be able to talk about Norrøna products. I get to touch them every once in a while. You all made our prototypes of the GORE-TEX, the next gen GORE-TEX Pro sample jackets. And so I've been able to play with that a little bit, but it's really fun to take this tour with you on these updated products.
I like that color though, so an exclusive color that I am not. I've never
Sure
seen.
do. So Patrick, tell us a little bit about what you do with Norrøna, what your commitment is, your history with Norrøna.
Yeah, of course. So I've been with the brand for 6 years. Once we got our start here in the U.S. on the retail front, so I was managing this store. So we started in May of 2019. So I was a store manager for 3 years, and then I moved over to the wholesale side, which is where I am currently. And I do more dealer services and inside sales now.
Yeah, so you've seen a lot, right? You've worked in retail, now you're in dealer services, inside sales. You've seen the whole perspective, which I really love. And one of the things I love about Patrick, and this is all important for you all to know this as well, is how accessible Patrick is and how accessible actually Patrick makes this brand for us here in North America.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm here for, and that's why I love this community, Marshall. Too, is send me a chat in the Experience Board Tour network, and I'll get back to you. So
right.
that's what this community is all about. We're all gear nerds and geeks, and I just like having these discussions with folks.
Well,
We
you
were talking the
especially
other day.
are a gear nerd and geek. So
Yeah,
let's get into talking about Norrøna a little bit. And Patrick, you've teed up a video for us to kind of talk a little bit about Norrøna. Before we jump into it, can you kind of introduce the video that we're about to watch?
yeah. So it's just a brand video. So if you wanted to get a little bit more background on what we're all about, this is a good place to start. And this is all on our YouTube channel as well.
All right, let's take a quick look at this short video, and then I'd love to hear you comment on what really it resonates with you.
We would like to tell a story. It's a story of curiosity, courage, endurance. It's a story from nature. It began back in 1929 when Jørgen Jørgensen created durable equipment to perform in Norway's wild and challenging mountains. Starting with simple innovations such as gaiters, canvas backpacks, and cotton clothing, he set Norrøna's direction to search for the best in technical advancements and to create the ultimate performance products. Did he know what he had established? Did he know how he inspired? And did he know that he had set a whole new standard with his premium gear? Since 1929, we've been climbing, riding, skiing, screaming, running, laughing, surfing, hunting, failing.
Shit, hold me, hold me, hold me!
Have we been failing? Of course. We've learned so much from doing things wrong. That's why we design our own products in Norway. Test them again, redo everything, and keep on searching for the best possible solutions. And keep on dreaming. Crying, traveling, walking, learning, camping, dancing, thinking, creating, and recirculating, and mountaineering, bouncing, discovering. You could say that Norrøna is based on polar expeditions, or Himalayan expeditions, climbing expeditions, or steep skiing expeditions. Or you could say that we're based on big expeditions, or small expeditions. But most importantly, you can say that Norrøna is based on your expeditions. That's why this is a sustainable story. That's why this is a story without an end. Welcome to nature.
Wow, that's an excellent brand video. I had not watched that yet, Patrick, and that is really something special. What resonates with you in that video?
Well, that our owner's in there, right? With his daughter there at the end. And Jurgen's a very integrated, very involved individual. He's not just sitting at home being like cashing checks and he's an owner. Shoot, the last time I was in Norway, I had dinner at his house. And it was the marketing director who was grilling the elk or it was reindeer that he shot with our hunting gear.
Yeah.
There's that RD&D that was helping them cook. So it's not just, oh, we're family owned, but don't ask us about the family. It's very integrated. So that's what hits home to me, and also shows what all of our products can do. So in the US so far, people just think of us as a winter ski brand, which is great that people know us for that, but we do everything. Do you spend time outside? Do you fish? Do you hunt? Do you mountain bike? Do you run? Well, we've got the gear for you. So whether you're doing first ascents, mountaineering, or you're walking your dog in the wintertime in Chicago, we've got you covered.
Yeah, it's the breadth is amazing, and the knowledge, and I just, like you said, I love that it is family owned, family run. It just feels really, I'll say it again, accessible, right, as a brand, but it's amazing how broad it is. Speaking of some of the products, right, I just finished a 6-day bikepacking trip in southern Utah on mountain bikes, and I wore a Norrøna wool top every single day. Never washed it, and it worked great, right? It was just, I was comfy in the cold, the rain, the hot, and these products are really well made and well designed and well thought out, right, for the particular activities. And within it is this concept, which I think is really powerful, right? This really, to me, is like, what are Norrøna products? They are loaded minimalism. And it's just such a cool term because it's so true. Reflect on this with me, Patrick. Like, what does loaded minimalism mean to you?
Sure. So if you're just walking through the shop and you see like, oh, and then that's a Norrøna ski jacket, be like, oh yeah, I get it, right? It just looks very basic. And then as soon as you try one of these pieces on, be like, oh, what is this feature? What is this zipper for? Right? And all of the integrated products being like, oh, and I can do this with that, and I can kind of customize this piece for me. So it's a lot going on. So I love this concept. And, and a lot of us being shop kids is, yeah, how do you get folks to try on stuff or explore stuff? Well, take it off the shelf and give it to somebody, right? Have them touch and feel it and play around with it. So I think we can all resonate with that as shop kids.
Yeah, it's these little Easter eggs throughout, but it's that nice minimalist look and feel, and which is great from a functionality standpoint, right? To have that minimalist vibe to it. It's not just loaded down, but it's got these like perfectly loaded in features, and it really shows. In addition to this concept of loaded minimalism, we've also got, I think you really are leaders in the world of transparency and responsibility. To tell us a little bit about how we as consumers of this can kind of access some of the responsibility standards that you're all living up to.
Yeah, go on Norrøna.com, click on a piece that you're interested in, scroll to the bottom, and you'll see where it came from. So I really appreciate that as a consumer and just a fan of the brand. I even so a little bit more on my background. I was actually selling the brand next to Arc'teryx Patagonia Outdoor Research at the REI here in downtown Denver. Mm-hmm. And I fell in love with the brand, and I love the brand story. But one of the other things that I do appreciate about the brand now, being on the other side of it, is our transparency. So if you want to see where those products were produced and learn about the factory a little bit more, it's on our website. You don't have to go very far for it. So click on the Lofoten GORE-TEX Pro Jacket, scroll to the bottom of the page, and you'll see all of those interesting factors and about the factory it came from.
Yeah, I think that's really cool that you have that access, right? I mean, even beyond like ingredients or recycled, right, all the way down to which factory it's in, and it's just kind of neat to know that like there's that connection and that traceability and that accountability, and Norrøna really has been a leader in that process. So
and it's having pride of being part of the solution and not just part of the problem. So yeah, we still use petroleum byproducts like nylon and polyester, but that's all going to be recycled.
Yeah,
and then all of our merino wool and all of our down is part of the RDS and RWS.
Mhm.
So we've got nothing to hide. We're proud behind the products that we put out there for you all.
Yeah, and that's really in alignment with GORE-TEX's responsibility standards as well, right? Really trying to uh, integrate into, and I noticed even on that slide we just had up, right, the FEM, the HIG facility environmental module, which is something that we were really invested in, as well as the HIG FSLM, the social and labor module. So looking at the factories from both an environmental and a social standard, and then even aligning in with some of these products, like you said, recycled, but PFAS removal is a big one as well that we've been working on for 10 years. And we are at the very end of that journey now with the final products to be converted over to PFAS free, which is with this next gen GORE-TEX Pro. So these are our pinnacle products. These are our products designed for going into the most extreme conditions for the extended periods of times, like that video said, whether it's the long expeditions or maybe the short expeditions, right? These are products really designed to go into there. And I think Norrøna is a heavy user of this Pro category as you design products to go into these extreme environments for sure. So that means one of your pinnacle lines, the Lofoten line, is getting access to this new next gen GORE-TEX Pro, which we're really excited about to be able to see it here. Tell us, Lofoten, tell me how to pronounce it. Tell me what it is and really why, where it comes from.
Yeah, no, your pronunciation is great, Marshall. Yeah.
Ah, shucks.
Yeah. No, I've got no critiques, but if you were to go there or talk to a Norwegian, I think it's more like an LU that's heavier, like Lofoten, a lot of times too. But
I
I
was
hear
in Norwegians on the call. Feel free to unmute and tell us how to say it perfectly. But go
Yes,
go on.
yes, please. But no, the pronunciation's great. And yeah, it's a thin chain of islands on the west coast, just above the Arctic Circle. So it's a playground. I've been there a couple years ago, and I was blown away. So it's got great skiing, it's got great climbing. We went surfing, we went kayaking. We even drove past the golf course out there too. So it's a legit playground, and I can't wait to go back. I've been there in late spring, so I usually go end of April, early May for our sales meeting, where we spend a couple of days at our headquarters just outside of Oslo, and then we get out of town and get into nature. But I'd love to go back because our ski guide when we were there, he's also the climbing guide, and he and I were just shooting the shit, and he found out that I climbed. He's like, "Oh, you need to come back in the summertime and climb under the midnight sun here." Like, "Oh, okay, I'll add that to my bucket list." So it's an incredible place. It's right on the water. It's in the fjords. So especially me coming from Colorado, it's nice to go there and ski tour, and I can actually breathe.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty lucky to be able to get to go there year after year and check it out. So this Lofoten line of gear is going to be inspired by what one might do in this zone, right? Which is skiing. And you make several ski products. So tell us a little bit where the Lofoten line fits into the ski spectrum.
Yeah, great question. And I don't want to get people overwhelmed about buying all of our ski lines because each one of our collections is named after a destination in Norway that the products were designed for. So it meant a lot for me to wear a Lofoten jacket and ski tour in Lofoten. But Lofoten is kind of on the higher end in terms of features and durability. Same thing with the Tomahawk line. The Tomahawk line has a slightly different style. It's a little baggier, a little longer. It's got more of kind of an American Western style to it, funny enough. Then you look at the More line, which we launched last year, and that's kind of middle of the road in terms of our ski products. It's on the lighter side of Tomahawk and Lofoten, more of like on the skin track. And then Lingen is on the extreme side of that spectrum. It's going to be the lightest ski collection that we have. The fit's going to be a little trimmer as well. So each one of them have a place for you, whether you're just going to be an inbound skier or an off-piste skier, strictly backcountry. You can use Tomahawk, for example, if you're only doing touring and you're not digging the Lingen style, which is a little bit more European style. The Morta line's a little bit more middle of the road. We don't do a lot of dual tone colors in that line either. So not only do they differ in terms of end usage, but they differ in terms of style and fit.
Right. So this Lofoten line is really in that you can see it's all the way over on the spectrum in durability, free ride, right? Really just taking the heart of use that a piece would take, and that is where GORE-TEX Pro really fits in, right? It's our most rugged technology. This year, with the new the update to it, it has been tested at the most stringent ruggedness standards that we've ever tested any products. We created new tests related to what we saw as failures in the field to really up-test all of these GORE-TEX Pro products, in addition to being PFAS-free and using recycled content, solution dyed, lower CO2. So these laminates are going to be going into some of these Lofoten products that we're going to explore here today, which is, so know that these are designed to be the most rugged and the most durable products there are. So let's start with what I would say is probably the most common or the pinnacle piece in this realm, which is the Lofoten GORE-TEX Pro jacket and pants, Patrick. And one of the things I love that you do, which you're doing right now, is to give us the Patrick tour of a garment, so we can find all those little Easter eggs and how one might use it. And this is really helpful for sales because you can point out some of these features as you're working with customers.
Well, quite frankly, I just wanted to try on this jacket because I love this whisper white color that we're doing.
Yeah, it's cool.
And we do pro in a lot of different collections too. So we use it in our mountain bike line, we use it in our mountaineering line too. So we're not just the brand that does, oh, this is our one pro jacket. Even in Lofoten, we've got two different pro versions, like this being the Pro Plus, which if we have time, we can talk about that one as well. But this is the Lofoten Pro jacket, which in my 6 years, this is the most well-known Norrøna piece. So whether people have called the shop or have come into the shop, this is what they've either heard about or have seen, and they've got a lot of questions about. And I've used it on the skin track. I've used it at the resort as well. It's a great piece with a ton of great features. The addition to this for this year is we bumped up the denier on this. So in the past, it was a 70 denier, which is plenty durable. And I've, as a snowboarder, I've ping-ponged off of plenty of trees, and I've never put a scratch in my Lofoten Pro jacket. But I do appreciate that now that we've got the other ski lines like Lingen and Morta that are on a little bit of the lighter weight side and more breathable, that we're ramping up our best-selling ski shell. So now this has a denier of 70 by 160. So it's definitely burlier for sure. So that's the new addition to this piece for fall, winter 25.
And I'm just going to chime in for those that don't know, 70 by 160 means a denier is basically the weight of the yarn, individual yarns, and or filaments. And so a higher denier generally means that it's going to be a little more robust face fabric on that. And so you go 70, which would be 70 in both the warp and the weft. And then if you go 70 by 160, that means you're going to have 70 as a warp and 160 as the weft. So we're adding in a little additional durability, a little more mass to that face fabric. Cool thing with this next gen GORE-TEX Pro being EPE membrane, or the film, that membrane is actually about 30% lighter. So that increased weight that you might add from adding more denier into the face fabric is offset by the lighter membrane of the EPE. So you end up with something that weighs the same, but increased durability and increased ruggedness. So this is one of the cool things about next gen GORE-TEX Pro. And Norrøna opted into leveraging that, sort of offsetting that lightness with increased durability. Which is really cool way to, it's nice to just have those options now, right? Yeah. So yeah, anyway, just wanted to chime in there and let's continue on the tour.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Marshall. And I've noticed with the new EP membrane that just trying it on in a quiet showroom, it's less crinkly than the EPTFE version. And it feels a lot more supple as well. So I definitely appreciate that. And a lot of the folks that will try it on in your shops will appreciate that too. Yeah. Before jumping into the features of the Lofoten Pro jacket, I just briefly want to touch on fit. So I'm on the smaller end of the spectrum. I'm 5'9", 165 pounds. I've got really short arms. I only have a -2 ape index. I've got an 18-inch torso, so I don't have a really long torso. This, however, is a medium, and this is the size that I prefer, especially since it's a shell. I'll wear a light layer underneath, for example. So this is going to be a medium. Now, jumping into the features of the Lofoten Pro jacket, something I've always appreciated are that we have these hand gaiters. So it keeps the snow out, and especially me being a knuckle dragger snowboarder, I like when I fall, I can just pick up my hand and no snow is going to get down into my sleeve. But if you just want to bypass that, if you don't like it, you can easily bypass it, no problem at all. All of our, and you'll see this on a ton of shells that we do, is we do this scalloped hem here. So meaning that it's going to be longer up top, but then it gets out of the way for you. Then my favorite feature of this piece is this chest vent. So if you're on the lift or even your mid-run and you don't want to have to fiddle with your pit zips, because we got the nice X-shaped double zip vent. If you don't want to fiddle with that mid-run, oftentimes I'll just quickly do that mid-run just to vent out some air in the chest. But this has a pass-through pocket to an internal pocket. So it's a great spot for your beacon, or it's a great spot for your cell phone. So if you're on the lift ride up, you don't have to open this up to get to that pocket and expose yourself to the elements. Mm-hmm. You can stay nice, windproof and waterproof, and still get to that internal pocket. That's my favorite feature is the chest vent. We still have two big chest pockets on the Lofoten Pro jacket. This one is going to have a nice lens wipe for your goggles or your sunglasses, and you can remove that. So at the end of your session, and you want to head downtown for your sunglasses, you can just take that with you. So that's something else I appreciate, and it's a nice little Easter egg that people find out when they try this piece out.
Exactly.
Yeah. No hand pockets on this one because it's on a little bit more technical side, but of our other Lofoten pieces, like the insulated jacket and the Pro Plus, we do have hand pockets on that one. We also have a built-in power skirt that you can zip out. So if you're like me and you're a bib guy and I wear our Tomahawk GORE-TEX Pro bibs, I just zip this out. It's nice to just throw in the closet for later. But this will integrate with all of our pants too. So this will button into the pants, and then you can have kind of like a nice onesie. So it keeps all the snow out on those snorkel days where you're in the deep powder. So that's another feature that I love. Hey, Nigel. Then you have the Resort Pass pocket here on the left sleeve too.
Yeah. Crucial. Yeah, it's kind of thought through and so many different features on that, which is cool to see.
Another big dump pocket. So if you start the day with heavier gloves or mittens and you want to throw those in here, no problem. Or if you want to have your spare lens from your goggles, this is another good spot for that too. I think that's about everything.
There's more, I'm sure, and stuff, but let's that's Lofoten, right? And you always give us this cool tour, and those are cool things to point out to customers. Again, the biggest win there is to have folks try it on first, and then have them kind of discover as you point out. That's my favorite way. But yeah, that is just a classic piece now in the Norrøna line. So there it is, and then some just super bold colors, right? Which I think is cool to see this year. Patrick, I want to transition over to gloves because you also have GORE-TEX gloves in your line. And this I know is a glove that you like to use sometimes. And I just want to say that, gloves are from a GORE-TEX perspective, is a great way to get people into GORE-TEX for a relatively low price point. So they can experience maybe how GORE-TEX works from the hand standpoint. So tell us a little bit about the GORE-TEX Thermo 200 long gloves.
Yeah, so these are the ones that are my daily driver at the resort and on the skin track. And I appreciate having a leather glove with a GORE-TEX membrane. It's kind of hard to find out there. So you still want to condition the leather, of course, right? But it's nice to know, oh, I didn't get to it this season, and here's a really wet, heavy snow day. You're still going to stay dry. So I really love that. From a style perspective, I love having leather with a super technical fabric, whether it be bright or kind of neutral with that winter twig color. I just love the look. And so this is more of the gauntlet style glove. We now do it in a shorty with a little less insulation, and we do it in a mitten too. So all the same style in the Lofoten GORE-TEX Thermo line.
Yeah, and GORE-TEX gloves are just they're the ones that work, right? And a couple of years ago, GORE-TEX went out and we did this kind of pretty large scale study in Europe, where we gave professionals, like resort professionals or guides or like ski instructors, various gloves to use throughout a season. It was kind of it was a blind study, so they didn't know if they were Gore-Tex or PU inserts or all these different variables. And then we periodically checked the waterproofness of the gloves throughout the season by doing a test that we do in the lab on every glove to ensure that they're still waterproof. And so what we found is Gore-Tex gloves started with near 100% initial waterproofness, whereas many of the competitors didn't even begin as new as being waterproof. And then there was this massive drop off over time of waterproofness in many of the different gloves. And this was, we were really trying to be objective about this when we set out to do this study. And we were just quite shocked at how much waterproofness dropped off over time. And if you've been on this network, you've heard me talk about durable waterproofness, something that we're really focused on. And this was a testimony via the glove world about how well Gore-Tex does work over time, right? 150 days, still get 94% waterproofness out of the glove, right? And if you had a customer who was unhappy about that 6%, right, we would take care of that through the guarantee to keep you dry guarantee as well. So really, there is no alternative if you want waterproof, windproof, breathable in gloves. You got to go Gore-Tex. And again, these are not super expensive gloves. These are accessible and really cool to see, you know, what Norrøna is doing with those and some of those higher end gloves like Patrick was just referencing. Patrick, anything else you want to leave us with here today around Norrøna and some of the new stuff coming out? Any thoughts you have?
So I'm waiting on the samples for fall winter 26, 27, and we're adding another Gore-Tex insulated piece now in the 60 gram per square meter in the pants and 80 gram per square meter in the jacket. So we have a new piece that just launched this year. It's the Down 800 Gore-Tex jacket. So this is great whether you're just going to be walking around downtown New York, Chicago, or you want to wear it at the resort of Jackson Hole and then go out to a nice dinner afterwards. It's another piece that we're really excited that we launched just this year. So now we'll have 3 Gore-Tex insulated pieces next year. So we've got a 40 gram per square meter and 60 gram per square meter jacket and pant. We thermal map those. Next year we're going to bump that up to 60 and 80 gram per square meter. We've got the Down 800 jacket. We still do our standard Gore-Tex with the flannel backer jacket and pant too. So there's plenty of options just within the Lofoten line. Whatever style you like to do on your ski or snowboard trips, or the type of terrain, we've got you covered there. And that's just Lofoten.
Patrick, thanks for being with us today. Really appreciate it. Always love hearing what's going on in Norrøna.
No, thanks for having me.